Okay, so good morning to everyone. Now in yesterday's class, we have seen about the string concept, that the string that is used in Java we have discussed, and the problem that arises is that in the string in Java is immutable. That means once assigned the value, we cannot change it. That is why the string we called in Java is immutable. Now today we will see, for that reason, the string buffer class, that is another concept we have used. This is the string buffer class, and in this string buffer class is used to create the mutable. That means for creation of the modifiable string, we use the string buffer class. Now in this, if users of this string buffer class, we can create the mutable string. Now in this string buffer class, we have some important methods present. In this string buffer class, we have some important methods. That what are that important methods? The main important methods is the 5 types of important methods are there. There are many methods, but these methods are most widely used. So we will discuss one by one about that method. So the first method that is used mostly is the append method. Now, append method is used for what? It is used for the concatenation. It is used for the concatenation of the string in Java. That means if we want to use this append method, then at first thing what we have to do, we have to create in our program, we have to create the string buffer class object. This is the creation, string buffer SB equal to new string buffer. That means what? String buffer object, string buffer class object we have to create in our program. And in parameter, you will send that any string which you want, that string you should pass. Here I am passing EEC. So that means this string will be loaded where this string will contain this object, SB object of the string buffer class will contain this string EEC. Then after that, what we have to do with the object of the string buffer class, we have to call the append method. With the object of the string buffer class, we have to call the append method. And here, this is what, as a parameter, you will send which string you will add. That means for concatenation with another string, which string you want to concatenate, that string should be passed here. Now that means SB is containing what? SB is containing EEC, because inside the SB object SB, this is EEC present there. So that means it will append, this will append with classes. So after that, if we print, then it will shown as when we print the system.out.println and we print the object that SB we print, then it will show the EC classes. So append method is basically doing what? Append method is basically doing the concatenation with the given argument with the string. So that means with the given argument that is present, with that the concatenation is done. So that means with EEC, now the classes will be append. So the final result we get is the EEC classes. So this is the first method, the append method. We will use like this, an append method work like that. Then the next method that is present is the insert method. Now insert method is what? Insert method inserts the given string with the string at the given position. That means we will particularly mention the string when we create the string buffer class object, and as a parameter we will send some our string, and then what we will do, then we will our in that particular position, a position should be mentioned, and that position, in that particular position, the thing will be the our, if we say it will be what, in that particular position the argument will be added. So let's say first we see that first what we have created, string buffer class object is equal to new string buffer, and here we pass EEC. That means this is the string we are passing, the string name. So that means this EEC will be contained by SB. Then let's say you this same thing we ignoring that sp dot append. So if we perform the append, in that means what will happen, that if we pass the append, in that case it will be our sb dot append classes. Then here it is what, it is the append method we are doing. Then after that, what if we print the SB? Now let's say ignore this our example, or ignore this statement. Let's say after creating the string buffer class object, we are passing in the string EC. So EC will be contained by the string buffer class object SB. Now what will happen? System.out.println SB. So when we will print that, this statement will be not there. I am ignoring this statement. Okay. So when we will print system.out.println SB, that means this will be shown as EC, because SB is containing what? SB object is containing the EC. This EC is contained by the SB object now. And after that, with that object, we are calling the insert method. Now this insert method do what? This insert method take two parameters. In these two parameters, first one is the position we will mention. That means a position we will mention in the first parameter. And in the second parameter, we will mention the word or the text which we want to enter. Now that means SB is containing what? EEC. SB is containing EEC. So that means when we call that with this insert method, when we call the insert method, that means what? Here first parameter is mentioning the number. First parameter is mentioning the position. Now EC position, if we count the EC position, then first D is in the 0th position, second D is in the first position, then C is in the second position. So this is what, this is how we count the position. So 0, 1, 2. Now here I am mentioning 1. So that means in this particular position, the text or the string should be added. So that's why when we see the output, in that we are seeing that E, then the word or the text that is given YouTube. Here I am giving the text as YouTube. So that means in that one position, YouTube is added, and this E, it will not get lost. It will be shifted. It will be shifted in the right side one position. So that's why you see E is shifted one right side position and then C. So that means in that particular first position, the text is added because we are mentioning one here. So if we mention 2 there, if we, let's say we mention 2, in that case it will be EE, then the string here it is YouTube, so EE YouTube C. It will be look like this. Let's say in the first 0 position, if we mention in the 0 position, then what will be happen? YouTube EEC. It will be shown like this. That means insert has 2 parameters. First parameter will be mentioned in the particular position the string should be added, and in the second parameter the particular string should be mentioned. This is the working of the insert method. Then after the insert method, we have a method named the replace. The most
So
used
can you please
method, that
repeat
is
that
the
insert method again?
insert.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically insert method is what? Basically, if we say the insert method, now first, if anything you should have to do, first you have to create the object. So that means why this statement should be not there. Okay, so this statement will be not there. You will not concept this statement. Okay, this append statement we have already discussed previously. So ignore this. Then, so first what will happen? String buffer SB equal to new string buffer we have created. So that is what the string buffer class we are using. So if we want to use that, then string buffer class object we have to create, and as a parameter you have to pass the string. As a parameter you have to pass the string. So here as a parameter I am passing the string name EC. That means this EC will be contained by the string buffer class object. Now string buffer class object is SB. So this SB will contain the EC. This SB will contain the EC. Then when we perform system.out.println, now what is containing by SB? SB is containing EC. So that means if we print this, then it will show the EC, because the SB object, the object is containing now EEC. So it will show EEC now. Then after that, with that object, we are calling the insert method. With that object, we are calling the insert method. Now, insert method is what? This insert method takes 2 parameters. This insert method take 2 parameters. Now, the first parameter is what? The first parameter is the position, the particular position where the argument or the string we will add. That particular position should be mentioned, and second parameter will be the string or the argument which we wanted to insert. That should be mentioned. Now, in our example, we have taken the position and the argument as EC. So that means the position and the argument should be mentioned as EC. Okay. So the thing we are discussing then, that means now in this particular position, this insert method contains what? This insert method at the first parameter. In the first parameter, it will be what? The position. In the particular position, our text or the string should be added. That particular position should be mentioned. And in the second parameter, we have to mention the string or the argument which you want to add. That should be mentioned. So that means now in our object it is containing EEC. It is containing EEC. So this EEC, when we perform the insert method, that means what in the first position. So if we start counting from here, then E is in the 0th position, this E is in the first position, this C is the second position. So we start counting it from the 0th position. So 0, 1, 2. Then here it is mentioned first, this in this first position, this first position is mentioned. And this is the string or the argument which we have, that is the U2, named U2. So that means this U2 string or the argument will be added to the first position. But that doesn't mean this E will get lost. This E will be what? This E will be shifted one right position. So it will be shifted right one position. So that's why it will be look like E, U2, EEC. Now you can say that yes, sir, we can, if we want to this in the second position, we want to insert in the second position, then mention 2 here, and then what will happen? It will look like EE, then U2, then C. Now you can say if you want to add this into the 0th position, then mention 0 there, mention 0 there, and then U2 will be added at the 0th position. That means it will be what? U2 is. So this is the insert method. This is the working of the insert method. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the our insert method too. Now the next method is the replace. The next method we have, that is the replace. So replace method do what? Replace method basically do our replace. It replaces the given string. It replaces the given string from the specified begin and end index. Now what? How this look like? This will be like that. It is not shown here, that let's say string buffer class object we have to create, and then in this string buffer we have mentioning that, let's say like EEC we have mentioned, that means in this string buffer EEC is present there. Same process, like first that we have to create the string buffer class object, and as a parameter we have to send some string. So let's say here also I have done that. New string buffer class object we created, and as a parameter we send the EEC. So that means our object SB, it is a string buffer class object. So the string buffer class object will contain the EEC now. And after that, when we perform SB.replace, that means this replace method we will do, in that we have to mention 3 things. We have to mention the 3 parameters there. What are the 3 parameters? The first parameter will mention the start index. The first parameter will do what? The first parameter will mention the start index. The second parameter will be mention the end index. And the third parameter is what? The third parameter will be mentioned, that is the classes. So that means if we do, then from first to end index this is mentioned. So EC will look like now, because it is mentioned replace. So that means this word will be replaced. So if we perform this, then it will be look like E classes. This will be E classes, because from 1 to 2, from starting index to end index position, we are mentioning that it will replace the value of SB. So in SB, what contents? In SB, the content is EC. So that means it will replace the value of EC from 1 to 2. Now 1 is what? This is 1, this is 2. So from 1 to 2, from start index to end index position, this is mentioned. From 1 to, that means start index and end index mentioned. So from 1 to 2 position, it will be replaced with the string with classes. That means it will be look like E classes, because from start index to end index, it will be replaced. And start index is where from, it is starting the index from 1. So that's why, what means, that means the first index we are mentioning. So from first index to second index, the first index is containing E and second index is containing C. So this E and C will be replaced with what? The string mention. So that's why it is look like E classes. That's why it will look like E classes. Okay, clear? It is clear?
हेलो सर। सर अगर 0 से 2 दे देंगे सर, 0,2 तो क्या होगा?
टोटल 0 से तुम अगर 2 दे दिए तो पूरा ये ईसी कुछ नहीं दिखाएगा, ईसी रिप्लेस होकर सिर्फ क्लासेस दिखाएगा, क्योंकि मेंशन कर दिए तो कि 0th पोजीशन क्या है। तुम कर ही सकते हो कि 1 की जगह तुम 0 दे दो। तो 0 क्या है? 0 स्टार्टिंग इंडेक्स है, सेकेंड 2 है एंड इंडेक्स। तो मतलब 0 to 2 जितना है सब क्या होगा? रिप्लेस हो जाएगा। मतलब ये पूरा ईसी रिप्लेस हो जाएगा। ईसी रिप्लेस करके क्लासेस दिखाएगा सिर्फ, तब आउटपुट में सिर्फ क्लासेस दिखाएगा। ये मेंशन है कि स्टार्ट इंडेक्स जो है और एंड इंडेक्स को मेंशन कर दोगी। अब तब क्या होगा कि स्टार्ट इंडेक्स से स्टार्ट करके एंड इंडेक्स तक, स्टार्ट इंडेक्स से स्टार्ट करके एंड इंडेक्स तक क्या होगा कि टोटल पूरा तुम्हारा लॉस्ट हो जाएगा, मतलब रिप्लेस हो जाएगा, नॉट लॉस्ट, वो रिप्लेस हो जाएगा। ओके, तुम मेंशन कर सकते हो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं उसमें।
Sir, every
बोलो।
time we have to give only 2 index value. मतलब उससे
नो
ज्यादा
नो,
नहीं दे।
Yes, so the thing we are discussing in that time, that is, it depends upon you. It depends upon which string you mention. It depends upon whichever string you will mention. It depends upon you. So the discussion is, let's say the name we are calling that your name. Your name has what? Your name, if we content, this will be 0, this will be 1, this will be 2, this is what? 3. So it depends on the string length. In this case, which I used, in that case, our string length is from 0, 1, 2. But it depends on the string length that what you will use. Here the string length is, if we say your name, that then it will be 0, 1, 2, 3. So that means what? Your string length is 4. So from 0 to 3, that's why it will be from 0 to 3. And now let's say in the object, the SB object or our string buffer object, this string buffer object contains your name. So let's say your name containing the string buffer class is containing your name, that is Ranu. Let's say this is containing Ranu. So if we replace that, and here we are mentioning from 1 to 2, that means from 1 to 2 means A is 1, N is 2. So that means it will what? It will say R classes U, R classes U. It will be that. Okay, it depends on what string, that what it will be. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it depends upon the string length, that what string you will choose. And from here you can mention anything. This is not the thing that you mention that.
So, but here you for classes you have given only 2 index.
What I have said, that my string is EC. My string I have used EC. Now this EC, the last index is 2. That's why I mentioned 2. It is not that because if I mention 3, then what will be shown? If we mention 3, let's say if I mention 3, then that means what? My string length is 0 to 2 and I am mentioning 3. This can happen. This will not happen. Yes, in this case you can mention 3 because your string length is 3. That is the reason I have mentioned 2 here. It depends on your string length. It depends on your string length, that what you will specify. In my case, it is easy. My case, it is easy, and this is what the 2 is the last index in my string. 2 is the last index. But if I mention, let's say, her name, Ranu, in that case, what is the last index? The last index is 3. So that's why in that case, I can mention 1 to 3. In that case, I can able to mention 1 to 3. But in my string, depends on the string case, that in my string, it is easy. So if I mention 1 to 3, then it will not find a last index, because in my string, the 3 is not any index present. So that's why it will not show. Okay.
सर नहीं समझ आया.
अरे अब देखो, इसको समझ में देखो, मेरा जो स्ट्रिंग लेंथ है, मेरा स्ट्रिंग क्या है? मेरा स्ट्रिंग है EEC. इसमें कितना लेटर है तुम बताओ? इसमें कितना लेटर है? तीनों लेटर है, तो मतलब इसका लेंथ कितना है? 3 है. ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
तो हम इसको स्टार्टिंग कैसे करते हैं? 0 से स्टार्ट करते हैं, तो मतलब 0 1 2. ठीक है. अब इसीलिए क्या है कि हमको इधर क्या करना है? रिप्लेस के अंदर स्टार्ट इंडेक्स और एंड इंडेक्स को मेंशन करना है. ठीक है. इसके अंदर स्टार्टिंग इंडेक्स और एंड इंडेक्स को मेंशन करना है. तो हम जैसे भी करके तुम कह सकते हो कि एंड इंडेक्स हम 2 के ऊपर कहां से देंगे? 2 के ऊपर तो हम कहीं से भी नहीं दे सकते, क्योंकि मेरा तो लेंथ ही है 0 to 2. तो हम 2 के ऊपर कैसे देंगे? अब उसका जैसे हम रानू का जैसे एग्जांपल लेके दिखा रहे थे, रानू का तो स्ट्रिंग लेंथ है 0 to 3, तो उसमें हम 3 दे सकते हैं. मगर मेरा अगर स्ट्रिंग लेंथ उतना नहीं है, तो हम कैसे मेंशन करेंगे एंड इंडेक्स को? 3. अगर 3 ही मेरा 3 लेंथ 3 नहीं है, 0 to 3 मेरा लेंथ ही नहीं है, तो हम 3 को कैसे देंगे? 3 तो हम नहीं दे सकते ना. इसीलिए हम 2 दिए थे एंड इंडेक्स. तुम ये भी कर सकते हो, ये भी पॉसिबल है कि 1 to 2 छोड़ के तुम 0 to 1 भी कर सकते हो, 0 to 1 भी कर सकते हो. स्टार्टिंग इंडेक्स जो है, स्टार्टिंग इंडेक्स 0 1 2 तुम जो भी दे सकते हो. ये भी हो सकते हैं कि तुम स्टार्टिंग इंडेक्स 0 एंड इंडेक्स 0 वो भी तुम दे सकते हो. तब क्या होगा? सिर्फ 0th लेटर जो है वो रिप्लेस होगा. तुम ये अगर दिए 0, स्टार्टिंग इंडेक्स भी 0 किए, एंड इंडेक्स भी 0 किए, तो मतलब क्या है? सिर्फ एक पोजीशन को तुम डिक्लेयर किए. अभी समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. यही चीज है कि तुम्हारा स्ट्रिंग लेंथ के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट है टोटली. इसीलिए हम 2 3 जो लिख रहे थे वो है. Then the next is the delete. The delete option, the delete. What is the delete? It deletes the given string from the begin to end index. So that means in that particular we will mention here the delete position will be mentioned. That means this SB, let's say this SB will contain what? This object will contain any string, and if we perform the delete method with this, we perform the delete method. In this delete method, it takes 2 parameters. Delete method takes 2 parameters. First one is the start index and last one is the end index. So let's say if EC contains, let's say I contain the name like the example which we are taking, Ranu. So that in this, if we use the concept Ranu, in this the SB object contains that Ranu, and we perform the delete operation, then what will happen? Here we are mentioning from 1 to 3. So A is 1, N is 3. So that means A, N, U from 1 to 3, from 1 to 3 position, all the things will be deleted. So that means we will only able to see the output R. We will only able to see the output R. But let's say we use here the string, we use EC. Let's say we use the string EC there. Now in EC, how many? It is 0, it is 1, it is 2. So if we give this string, then it will show error, because from 1 to 3 we have to delete. Yes, starting index it is found, but where is the end index? End index is 3. Sorry, end index is 3, so it didn't have end index there, because our string end index is 2, but we want to delete the our from end index 3, so it didn't, our string is not so much length, so it will find the starting index, but it will not find the end index, because from 0 to 3 then it will find, but here the 3 is not there. So in that case, what you have to do, we have to change the end index. So it depends what you will choose, the starting index and what you will choose the end index. But don't choose the end index such like that your string is not so much length and you are choosing the start end index letter like this. You cannot choose कि मतलब तुम्हारा string इतना लंबा ना हो, तुम्हारा string का length इतना बड़ा नहीं है और उतना index नहीं है और तुम वो index को choose किए, ये कभी मत करना, तो error show कर देगा. तो जैसे इसके अंदर अगर EC जो है इसको अगर मुझे choose करना है, तो इधर मुझे एंड इंडेक्स 2 में ही खत्म करना होगा, क्योंकि 2 के ऊपर ये जो स्ट्रिंग है वो नहीं जाते हैं, तो ये इसको क्या करना है, 2 में ही खत्म करना है, जैसे भी करके इसको 2 में ही देना है. इसको 3 हम नहीं दे सकते, क्योंकि 3 तो इंडेक्स नहीं है, इस स्ट्रिंग के लिए तो 3 इंडेक्स ही नहीं है. तो इसको कैसे कैसे कंपाइलर समझेगा, जेवीएम कैसे समझेगा कि 3 इंडेक्स कौन सा है, वो तो समझ ही नहीं पाएगा कि 3 इंडेक्स कौन सा है. तो स्ट्रिंग के ऊपर देख के तुम स्टार्टिंग इंडेक्स और एंड इंडेक्स जो है वो ठीक करना. ये तुम्हारे ऊपर है कि तुम स्टार्टिंग इंडेक्स कौन सा दोगे, एंड इंडेक्स कौन सा दोगे, बट डिपेंडेंट है कि वो जैसे स्ट्रिंग के ऊपर देख के तुम ठीक करना कि क्या दोगे तुम एंड इंडेक्स में और क्या दोगे तुम स्टार्टिंग इंडेक्स में. ओके, तो ये गया
Sir,
मेरा
what?
डिलीट
Sir,
ऑपरेशन.
sir, if we want to delete only one index, then what we have to do?
Only one index. You are saying that only one index, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Then you should, let's say, I am taking your name example. Let's say your name Ranu. Then this is containing by the our object. This is containing by the this string buffer class object. Then what you will do? Starting index. Let's say starting index is 1, and in the end index, same index number you give. So from it will happen 1 to 1. From 1 to 1 the deletion can happen. So that means starting index and end index should be same. In that case, you should have to mention the start index and end index same. Then JVM will understand that it will be deleted by this position only. Other can be there. So that means you have to mention starting index and end index as a same. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is the delete option. And the last most widely used, that is the reverse. And what this perform reverse? It simply reverses the given string. That means it reverses the given string. So if we mention, that means with string buffer class object, you call the reverse method, then whatever the string that is stored in the string buffer class object, it will be reversed. So in our example, I am taking the EC. I have already taken EC, so it will be reversed. Then the output will be shown as like this, CEE. Then it will be reversed. Mainly the string will be reversed. So this is the option with this widely used, that is the reverse. So these are the functions. These are the functions or the methods that is basically mostly used in the string buffer class, and we can use all of this function like that. Now we will see the difference between the string and string buffer class, that what is the string and string buffer class. So from here you have already know that string is what? The string classes which we see, that these string classes are immutable. That means once we can assign, then it cannot be changed. Later on, it cannot be changed. That's why it is called the immutable. But whereas the string buffer class, the string buffer class we use is the mutable. That means you see we have performed these operations. And after performing the operations, when we print that, then we get our mutable option, or after modifying the value, what that modify value we are getting there. From here we are getting. So that's why string class is what? String class are immutable. Whether this string buffer class is what? The string buffer class is mutable. And strings are what? Strings are slow. But whether compared to the string buffer class, it is very fast compared to the string. And then the next is what? It consumes more memory when you concat too many strings. So when we concat or do the concatenation, then it will consume more. This string class will consume more memory. But string buffer class is what? It consumes the less memory. And string is what? It overrides the equals method of the object class. So the equals method that is present, that I have already discussed. What are that three in the string? Equals, equal to, compared to. These are the methods present. So it overrides the equals method of the object class. So in object class, the equals method is present, that is overridden by the string. But the string buffer is what? The string buffer class does not override equals method of the object class. You didn't see any options like that. You see in the string we have used the equals method, but here also we in the string buffer class we do not override equals method of the object class, because we have discussed the method. Did you see any equals method like that we have override like this equals method? There is no like that present. So these are the four differences. These are the four differences which is the most. These are the most differences between the string and string buffer class. So this is all about our string buffer class. Okay, clear? It is clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today I will not able to start the next topic. That is the next which you have the most important, that is the Java networking concept. There is another thing, that is the string